Axure RP 11 has introduced many new features built upon previous versions, making it even more powerful in UI and UX design. This demonstrates Axure RP's ambition to compete with tools like Figma and Sketch, offering an all-in-one solution for UI and UX design. Axure RP 11 introduces several new and improved features, building on the foundation of Axure RP 10. These updates include press or insert widgets and components, quickly add widgets, navigate through pages, and apply styles effortlessly. Gallery view, view all pages simultaneously for a better project overview. Apply style action, dynamically change widget styles based on interactions. Disable interactions, prevent certain interactions for more precise control. Target components and component events, more intuitive targeting of components with direct access to component events. Ease and animate options, enhanced ease and scale animations for richer UI effects. Variable changed event, easily control actions through variables, particularly useful for data-driven prototypes. Distribute on grid and equidistant layout, quickly arrange widgets for a balanced layout. Swapping position, swap the positions of two widgets effortlessly with drag and drop functionality. New style properties for widget and background blur, use blur effects to focus on important elements and de-emphasize others. Now let me introduce these features one by one, starting with shortcuts. In the Axure 11 interface, pressing the key activates the shortcut menu, allowing you to search and select components from the entire widget library, such as checkboxes and radio buttons. You can also navigate to components and pages using the buttons below. The newly added gallery view in Axure 11 lets you see all pages at once. Clicking the tab in the upper left corner takes you to gallery view, where you can double-click any page to navigate directly to it, similar to the artboards and other design tools. The Apply Style Action feature enables you to easily change the widget styles through actions. For example, we can add an action to a button to change its style when clicked. In the pop-up window, you can set the style properties. Axure 11 introduces several new style properties, including blur, transform, and transition animations, which we will discuss later. In Prototype Preview, clicking the button shows the rectangle style change. The Disable Interactions feature allows us to disable actions without deleting them. We first add a new action to the button. After right-clicking to select the Apply Style action, clicking the Disable Action button disables it. In Prototype Preview, clicking the button reveals that the Apply Style action has been disabled effectively. In Axure 11, we can directly add actions to components. Here I select Fire Event, targeting a group under components that also has a click action. Then I choose click or tap to trigger the group's action. We then add a click action to the button, selecting Fire Event and targeting the component. This way, we can trigger the component's click action. In Prototype Preview, when we click the component, we can fold or unfold the list, and clicking the button also triggers the component's click action to fold or unfold the list through the targeted component. Axure 11 introduces many ease animations. For example, I add a click action to the left button that sets the size of a circle. Choosing the ease in out sign animation. I also add an ease in and elastic animation to the right button. In Prototype Preview, clicking the button showcases the circle's animation. Next, I add a click animation to the left button, applying the style to the circle. Here I check Transform, scaling it to 2, and then add an offset under Translate. Finally, I check Transition. Here we add a 2000 ms linear animation. Next, I apply a similar operation to the right button, but with different property settings in the Apply Style action. In Prototype Preview, clicking the button showcases the circle's animation. With the variable changed animation, we can easily create data-driven prototypes. First, we add a click interaction to the left button that changes the global variable to the number in the middle input box. Then we increment the number in the middle text input box by 1. We need to rearrange the actions to change their order. After that, we add a variable changed animation to the page, updating the number in the shopping cart to match the global variable onload variable. In Prototype Preview, clicking the button shows that the number in the shopping cart corresponds to the number in the middle text input box, achieving data consistency through the variable. The Distribute on Grid and Equidistant Layout feature allows us to quickly align multiple components. First, we move the images to the corners defined by 4 guidelines. After selecting all icons and clicking the Distribute button, all images are automatically spaced out, making the process very efficient. When selecting more than 2 components, a cursor appears in the center of the selected components. Dragging this cursor to another component allows you to swap their positions. Any 2 components can be exchanged effortlessly. Axure 11 introduces a new blur feature. After selecting a component, clicking the blur option in the toolbar and checking widget blur applies a blur effect to that component. It seems there are some issues with the background blur feature, so we'll use another method to achieve it. By grouping the button and image and checking widget blur, both the image and button become blurred. Then by selecting the button and unchecking widget blur, we can see that the button has returned to its original state without blur. Axure RP 11 has introduced many new features built upon previous versions, making it even more powerful in UI or UX design. This demonstrates Axure RP's ambition to compete with tools like Figma and Sketch, offering an all-in-one solution for UI and UX design.